everyone, and welcome to this edition of the Primetime Newscast in the English language on Canal International. We'll begin with our top stories. Far from the west, from their palaces, phones of the northwest region have strategied on how revamped their region after it went to sleep as a result of the ongoing security situation in their region. And more than 2,000 children are out of school due to current Anglophone crisis, report revealed by the United Nations Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Actions, OCHA, February 12, 2024. The Anglophone crisis, which began in 2016, has hindered the education system in the northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon. And we also talk about World Day for Social Justice that is being commemorated today. Questions arise about the presence of social justice in Cameroon amidst growing challenges like frequent power cuts and other inconveniences. Many citizens are skeptical about experiencing true social justice in the country. Those are major stories. Details right ahead. In the English language. And far from their palaces, fronts from the northwest region of Cameroon have strategized on how to revamp their union after it went to sleep as a result of the ongoing security situation in their region. They recently met to chart a new vision for the union as custodians of the people. Kejan Henry Atembe tells us more.
It is no secret that the majority of the phones and chiefs of the northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon have elected permanent residents out of their palaces. Many have been kidnapped and held by separatist fighters for many months. Others have been killed, while many are constantly on separatist firing line. Faced with this security situation, phones of the northwest region have been brainstorming on how to revamp their union to speak with one voice against the sufferings of the people.
We came here to have a brainstorming meeting with phones of Northwest to revamp Northwest Union. Our country has been going through a difficult moment, especially in the northwest and the southwest. And the phones who are considered to be the custodian of our tradition and the fathers of tradition have been quiet. So enough is enough. We want to come back and one more.
Close to 48 phones of the northwest region were part of a brainstorming in Douala on February 17 to reshape the objectives of their union that has been in a torpid condition since 2016. According to the phones, it is time to say enough is enough, as they are ready to contribute their own quota in pushing for a stronger union and peace.
And more than 2,000 children are out of school due to the current Anglophone crisis, reports revealed by the United Nations Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Actions, OCHA, February 12, 2024. The Anglophone crisis, which began in 2016, has hindered the education system in the northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon. They may bring about long-term consequences to the affected children, as Unifollow story with our reporter Saleh Sharifa.
Une porte de l'école qui se ferme, c'est une porte de prison qui s'ouvre.
According to figures contained in a report made public on February 12 by the United Nations Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Actions, OCHA, a total of 246,354 children have not been able to go to school during the year 2024 in the northwest and southwest regions due to the Anglophone crisis.
Le premier droit
The first right of a child is the right to education. And if children cannot have this education, it means that there is a serious problem regarding their future as citizens of Cameroon. If several schools are slow to reopen, it is undoubtedly because they have already been attacked or threatened. Unfortunately, those who suffer the most are children and young people who pay the highest price by sacrificing their future. Visiting the Ministry of Social Affairs, they explain how the situation may affect children in long term. It may push these children to engage into unwanted activities, and later we will find them in consumptions of drugs, thefts, and aggressions. We can also find girls with unwanted pregnancies and abortion, even in cases of abandoning children. Since 2017, the education of 700,000 children in Cameroon's 2 English-speaking regions have been disrupted by separatist insurgents and the military. Separatist leaders have without a break ordered the closure of many schools in these 2 regions, especially on Mondays, which is until now considered a deadly ghost town.
And Protestant schools seeks to reclaim its position providing quality education and advocating for social justice. The Evangelical University of Cameroon today hosted an international conference in Douala on the theme, the profile of the Protestant school, a contribution to quality education and a social justice. We're talking about the Protestant school, which seeks to reclaim its position providing quality education and advocating for social justice. An international conference took place today in Cameroon's economic hub Douala, where experts came from all over the world to talk about the quality education in Protestant schools. More in the following story. Protestant schools across Cameroon and beyond still face enormous challenges, be them pedagogic, infrastructure, or governance. These problems impact on the quality of training in those institutions.
Social life in Cameroon is not easy now. So we really need to reflect and put in place strategies to make schools like a milieu which can contribute for social justice.
We have to see that first, churches are the largest providers of education. They have more schools than India and China together. So by this already, they contribute to social justice, because without churches, there would be much less education. The second aspect is that the churches often, not in all circumstances, but very often, are giving education for those who need the most, for those who do not have a lot of opportunities, for those who are at the margins of societies. And by this, of course, churches are contributing to social justice.
Experts from German universities, Université Libre de Pays, the Grand Lac in the Democratic Republic of Congo, Protestant Institute of Arts and Social Sciences, and other Protestant stakeholders and educationists are focused on addressing these burning issues. The 8th Conference of Impact is seeking strategies on the Protestant school profile, contributions to quality education and justice.
What is needed is to train teachers, to make stakeholders know about what it is and how they can manage to be involved into the process.
Conscious of the fact that education is one of the elements that fights poverty, the experts have one goal: ensuring quality education and also ensure schools contribute to social justice and peace. And the world commemorates World Social Justice Day today, and the questions arise about the presence of social justice in Cameroon amidst ongoing challenges like frequent power cuts and other inconveniences. Many citizens are skeptical about experiencing true social justice in the country. More in the following story. Lack of access to clean water, unpredictable electricity outages, road problems, and flooding in neighborhoods contribute to prevailing sense of social injustice in Cameroon. Many citizens we talked to on the streets of Douala describe this social injustice as a recurring issue, further weakening Cameroonian society.
What you call social justice, they just want the manifestation of bad governance, the manifestation of the absence of the rule of law, the manifestation of greed, when greed has become the rule, greed, the manifestation of avarice. People want to grab everything, anybody wants to grab everything for him or herself. What they call general interest becomes a mess look, and there's no public interest. People build on the highway, there is indiscipline, everybody is a rat race rather than being a human race. There's no humanity in the society.
The Cameroonian society grapples with numerous social injustices, leading to adverse consequences.
But when you find a situation where equals are treated unequally, it affects the political growth of that country. It creates social unrest. It affects the economic situation of that country. And that's where you see the level of problems in most of these African countries. So, but when everybody is given equal opportunities to compete in, public examination, to give you the opportunity to work in the society, to serve your nations, you see, without taking into consideration where you are coming from, as to your tribe, as to your religion, then there will be social and political stability.
In the face of these challenges, many Cameroonians have expressed their aspirations for a robust social protection mechanism, hoping to strike a balance between social justice and its counterparts. Teams of illegal migration have sensitized Cameroonian youths to make use of the available opportunities in the country and not leave the country at all costs, as warned by the head of state in his end-of-year address to youths. Their bitter experience they don't wish other youths to go through. The awareness was made in the nation's political capital. Yaoundé. More on the story with our reporter, Aisha.
They have tested what it means leaving the country at all costs and are back in Cameroon. The experience is bitter and unforgettable. When we arrived at the Sahara Desert, that is when I understood that my life was almost finished. Our driver started crying because the car was asking myself questions like, where am I really going to? At the Mediterranean Sea, it was the worst experience. All we ate was bread. Many suffered from different infections. There were horrible things I shouldn't even say. The adventure was deadly, really complicated. The worst of it was racism. With the alarm of the phenomenon raised by the head of state, Paul Biya, in his address to youths on February 10, UN Migration brought together young people to sensitize them on the many dangers of such illegal migration, with thousands struggling to rush back to fatherland each year.
From 2017 up to now, thanks to the European Union funds, we were able to support around 7,000 Cameroonians to come back in their country of origin. We thought that we should find a way to give another life to this speech. So that's why we invited returning migrants and also youth of Cameroon to come and have educational discussion.
The victims urged the youth to maximize the few available opportunities found in Cameroon, to remain committed and strategic to create life-changing initiatives.
And we take you to the East region, precisely in Beto, where city dwellers have been suffocating with dust in the past few weeks. To know their secret preventive precautionary tips, Saleh Sharifa completes the story.
As seen on these images, this untarred road of Betua 1 in the east region of Cameroon, thick bands of dust have covered the roads. Visiting this neighborhood, inhabitants recount their ordeal. It is a nightmare living this ordeal every day, but we have nothing to do about it. We are already used to it. We still have difficulties with road infrastructure. In Betua, all the neighborhoods are not yet paved, so we adapt with what we have. It gives diseases, and it does not allow someone to dress comfortably as he or she wants. It's a bit complicated. According to inhabitants, it is a real nightmare during dry season. I think with good infrastructures, this situation will calm down. We still hope for the government to do something for our roads. The dry season comes with very high temperature. Residents have to beat the ordeal of living with the hot climate and dust.
And with fleeing the contents of a shop dealing with second-hand goods at the Daido neighborhood in Cameroon's economic hub, thanks to the interest. More with our student journalist on internship, Kiga.
This is the state of a shop at Bonnefontaine, not far from the Daido market, Douala. In the morning of 20th of February 2024, the fire broke out at around 11 p.m. on February 19th. According to eyewitness, strong flames suddenly appeared on the roof of this shop, which had just received a huge consignment of goods few days ago. We did not see even the smoke. We suddenly saw a flame of fire from the roof. We started shouting to alert the neighbors. The fire had covered up everywhere. No one could get inside. The reason why in that shop, even a needle was not seen. Solomon Penda is the owner of this shop. He is still in great shock. What is making me to be in so much pain is that most of the things in there are not mine. They belong to my customers. So much loss. I already called them to come and collect their arrivals. They were still to come. For example, those chairs are around 40 sets and they are already in ashes. Fortunately, there have been no reported casualties or injuries resulting from the incident. Television set appliances, chairs, fridges, and others all reduced to ashes by those goods just few days ago. Just like those chairs that we see inside there are VIP chairs, all burnt down to ashes. Thanks to the intervention of the firefighters, with the assistance of the population, the fire was extinguished at about 2 a.m. breaking Tuesday morning, not without consuming the entire contents of the shop. The exact cause of the fire is yet to be determined.
And that report coming up next is the brief with Lil Peugeot. As for me, I'll go back same time tomorrow. Good night.